Are you a fan of global travel and going anywhere in the world?
Why?
Because now Surfshark can let you go anywhere in the world digitally.
Shout out to Surfshark, who have once again sponsored True News. Big thanks to them. They look after us, so we have to look after them, namely you. So you got to help this out if you want the free content.
What was that, sorry? What is Surfshark? Oh, it's an app and browser extension that lets you basically place your laptop anywhere in the world, so you can access things that maybe you can't access from the country that you're currently in. And that's perfectly fine. Exactly.
You can be anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Where do you want to be? Done. Brilliant.
Yes.
You want to be in the United States, Brian?
Yes.
You say you want to be in the United States because you want to be able to access the Netflix over there. That's absolutely fine.
Easy.
You can see all the Netflix series. Or you say you want a clean web, Brian. You can surf in a clean cyber ocean with no ads and no trackers or malware, and there'll be no phishing attempts. That's where people try and get your data.
Yeah.
So they're going, I want your data, and Surfshark are going, get off.
Leave it.
Yeah. You can also have it across unlimited.
Leave it, Ricky.
Ricky. What was her name? Bianca. They're the Bianca of the internet. Leave my little Geordie alone.
No one will get that.
Well, they will. There'll be some 50-year-olds watching this. And the good thing is, you can also get it on unlimited devices. How many devices?
Unlimited.
It doesn't matter how many devices you've got.
Whatever.
It goes across them all.
10, 20, 30, whatever you want.
Have you got a mobile phone and a laptop and a tablet and another mobile phone because you also have a burner phone because you don't want your girl to find out who you're texting? Then you can have it across all of them.
Like any self-respecting man.
Right, well, not all.
You're going to need it on the lot.
One phone.
On the lot.
You can also be, as they say on here, on the website that I've gone to, great link, whitelisted. Allow specific apps and websites to bypass the VPN. So it works great with things like your mobile banking, which needs you to be in the UK for your own safety.
All right, so you can just select what you want to be in England and then what you want to be in America.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's your own form of Brexit.
Just tweak it.
It's your own Brexit.
Like a nipple.
Don't think that's what Surfshark are going for. They're not going for tweakable nipples. Although you can also see tweakable nipples through Surfshark.
You want to surf,
if that's what you want.
Yeah, you can see anything, quite honestly.
Yeah.
No one will ever find out.
Yeah, and you've seen it all, and you ride away on the internet.
On the web.
And the cool thing is, it encrypts your data so you can stay anonymous online. So say that you don't want people knowing who and where you are going. Use this. Easy. So what are you worried about?
Now I've got Surfshark. Nothing.
Yeah. And of course, if you want to sign up, then what's the code?
Well, Lawrence, I'm glad you asked because you get 3 months free extra when you use the code Geordie at the checkout. 85% off as well.
Wow.
So
you've made that crystal clear.
Bam, bam, bam. 85% off. 3 months extra free.
Put it there, Gio.
And you use the code Geordie.
Put it there.
All of that.
All across the face.
Bam, bam, bam. So big thanks to Surfshark once again for sponsoring True News.
Yes.
And of course, it wouldn't be True News without some True News. So on with True News.
Good.
As if 2020 couldn't get more mental.
Or any worse.
Jake Paul is fighting on a Mike Tyson card. Iron Mike Tyson, the guy who was wrecking bitches and was the youngest heavyweight champion of all time.
Wow.
The podcaster, host of Hot Boxing.
Yeah.
I thought he was just a podcaster these days.
No.
He is getting the gloves back on in his 50s and he is fighting legendary boxer Roy Jones Jr.
Imagine how senior feels.
People are a little bit, wow, what the fuck? Is this a good idea for Mike Tyson's health? And then just to fuck it up a little bit more and make 2020 a little bit more crazy, throw Jake Paul in the mix. Yeah. He is fighting, weirdly, an NBA player.
Nate Robinson. Now, Nate's not been in the NBA for a couple of years, but sure, this is how Nate looks.
You're a big sort of fan of NBA.
Who'd have thought that this year could get any better for me? A child, a championship, everything else, and now the crossover is real, guys. The crossover is real.
He's been waiting for this moment.
He's been carrying me for years. Now it's time for me to carry you.
I've got no idea about this guy.
Well, let me tell you a little about this.
He looks in shape.
Nate Robinson's been staying in shape for some time. On the outside hope that an NBA team goes, we don't have a point guard anymore.
Why is he all of a sudden
fighting? Nate Robinson's 36.
This is the thing, right? Is when YouTube boxing happens, it's a little bit like, it's a little bit of fun again. When an actual athlete gets involved, on the one hand, it's like, he's a legit athlete. Like maybe he could cause Jake Paul some problems here. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, 36 can't get a proper job in the NBA, and it's tinging on the pathetic, is it?
What? No, it's not.
Will other NBA players be looking at him going, "All right, mate, you're fighting Jake Paul. What are you doing that with yourself?" Like, this is weird.
It's hard to find an equivalent. Nate Robinson's always been a guy who loves the spotlight. He's won 3 dunk contests in his time there. He's travelled around. It's fair to say.
If Steven Gerrard came out and went, "I'm fighting Jake Paul," everyone would be like, "What?"
Yeah, but that is because footballers look uncoordinated. Nate Robinson's done cardio, moved his arms for his whole career.
Yeah, I did see him hitting pads, and I thought, okay, you've got coordination there.
Right, okay. Although, at least you'd expect from a... an athlete.
Yeah, he's a legit athlete, and I mean that picture makes him look fucking shredded. But he is a short guy. That's the only thing.
The guy's 5'9".
Okay, so Jake Paul, what is Jake Paul about? Nearly 6 foot.
I'd say Jake Paul is
6 foot?
just a little under my height, so I think he's about 6 foot.
Yeah. So Jake Paul's going to have a size advantage on this guy.
Right.
But this guy is a real bona fide athlete, although Jake Paul is very athletic.
If there's one thing I'll say about Nate Robinson, great way to sum him up. Journeyman, never really quite cut it at the very highest level, but always did a very solid job for teams.
Can you show me this highlight of this dunk that you keep banging on?
Oh, well, there's a few dunks.
He's been banging on about this dunk all last night on the phone.
So there's some dunks and then there's some blocks. Nate Robinson.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Okay, that is impressive.
This guy's used to powerful explosions. He's got power in his legs. I don't know. Maybe you know whether power in the base of your body translates to power in the upper body.
Scientifically speaking, that is where your punching power is going to come from, is the movement. So I did watch him hit pads and I was like, not seeing massive power there, but let's see what else he can do.
Okay. The other thing is, he's not going to struggle for footwork. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, definitely.
Grand duo of Robinson at 5'9".
This guy has to be explosive in the moment. He has to read the other guy's movements. He's been doing that for his whole career. Think of that. Boxing again. Oh my God. Oh my God.
That is sick.
Yeah. Look at him. He's above the rim there. That's impressive for a guy who's 5'9". Here you go. Here it goes. Here we go. Wait for it. Wow. Oh my God, he's the tallest guy in the NBA. Look at that.
That was a damn mugging, in the words of JR.
That was lovely. You have to be a bit of a showman in order to win the dunk contest. This was his first win in the dunk contest. He was drafted 2005, so this is a young guy, 14 years ago, so he would have been early 20s, 22.
Oh, spins in
right.
midair. Can Jake Paul do that?
No.
Yeah?
Jake Paul
Probably
definitely
not.
can't do that.
Can
How
Jake Paul
impressive.
punch him in the face? I think so.
Jumped over a man to dunk it. Over a man.
Jake Paul, can you jump over a man? If Jake Paul punches fuck out of him, he can just say afterwards, yeah, but let's see you can jump over a man. That was the real winner.
That's the real quiz.
That was the real winner.
Yeah, I'll throw whatever you want over this building.
Best out of 3.
Right. This is impressive.
Yeah,
He's got a lot of attributes that could make him a good boxer. Footwork, power, athleticism, cardio.
Sessions.
Yeah. A lot of people will be going, why has Jake Paul agreed to fight this guy? His video immediately after the
Should
announcement
be hyping up the fight.
is called Bryce Hall is an Idiot.
Don't know who Bryce Hall is.
No one knows who Bryce Hall is.
I'm assuming it's one of the guys in the thumbnail.
Here's what we can title this video. 2 snakes watch Jake Paul's latest video. Smart. I'm supporting Nate Robinson. I want Nate Robinson to bash his tiny head in. Anyway.
Kicked out the building, eating tricks with the tricks was still trick out the building. I'm in big drops of ziplocks, they stick out the ceiling.
This does look like a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this is fun.
Good clean fun as well.
Yeah, good clean fun.
There's nothing dirty.
There's no sex.
Sometimes I just love jumping up and down around the studio.
Yeah, sometimes Brian and I'll just...
There's nothing more fun than that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's more fun than jumping up and down?
What's more fun than annoying the neighbours?
Yeah. They love it.
Yeah, exactly. You'll see, I've had fun because of my hair.
So his video's coming out same day as KSI, interestingly. You see the tweet? Jake Paul said, best of luck to you, and JJ just replied, fuck off.
KSI is online chatting, yerbing and yodeling. He tried to make it a competition between him and I on like who is gonna get more views on our music video. I'm not too worried about it, and I told him I was gonna wish him the best of luck, so KSI, good fucking luck, buddy.
He didn't talk about the bit where he told him to fuck off.
Interesting.
Funny.
This is the thing. I actually don't think Jake Paul's talentless at music. Call me crazy. I think some of his songs have been very decent. For YouTube standards.
Right.
Very
okay.
decent.
Yeah, sure.
So I wanted to send my team out into public to play people the song to get their genuine reactions without knowing it was me.
What up, guys? We're back at Santa Monica Pier.
What the fuck is that?
Sort of Diet Logan.
A few years ago, I tried to dress cool like this. I stopped because I realised it just doesn't suit you. I forgot that my face doesn't look like Pharrell's.
Genuinely, I was just thinking of Pharrell there.
Yeah.
That is so weird.
Yeah.
Yo, I like this. This is good. I would listen to this, totally. 1 to 10? Dude, I'd say a 10.
10! This woman's listened to other music and she said that's a 10.
We haven't heard it, Lawrence.
This woman hasn't heard the Beatles.
We haven't heard it yet.
Right, my bad. I haven't heard it, you're right. Although I heard that snippet and I thought, this is normal.
It's Jake Paul.
Oh, really?
Oh my God, her face. She's devastated, isn't she?
Maybe it's good. Maybe people do like it.
I've already said I think he's pretty decent, Jake.
Does coronavirus cause deafness?
Lack of taste is one of them, so maybe...
This...
These guys are fighting each other on the 12th of September, I think.
Wow.
It's going to be an empty arena, so...
What's new? Nothing's different. Because the arena would have been empty anyway.
Yeah, I get it.
Because no one buys tickets to things.
So they're fighting a real athlete this time, Jake is. It's a little bit like a lose-lose for me because he's probably going to have a hard fight in this guy.
Of course.
He's a real athlete who probably hasn't got the same boxing experience as Jake, but you told me he's a bit of a tough guy. You know what I mean?
He's tough as hell.
Yeah. So if Jake goes out there and smokes him, that's a real accomplishment, but with no name accomplishment towards it. Whereas with the Gibbo fight, Gibbo had a name and that he had the whole of the UK behind him at that time. So it was a powerful moment. I guess the upside is that you fight on a Mike Tyson card, and he definitely proves that he is serious about boxing at the very least.
That's the point about this. If you're willing to fight Nate Robinson, you're willing to take on a tough fight where you know it could go the distance because of cardio.
There's not a lot of gain.
Exactly.
Like money-wise, he could have fought another YouTuber, probably smoked like an easy YouTuber and made a shitload of money. This is not really going to be like that. So for me, I'm like, fair play to Jake Paul. Like, call him whatever you want. He is taking boxing seriously, and every other YouTube boxing match has been for the payoff of the adulation. You take the other guy's fans, you get big money. This doesn't really have a lot of these upsides that everyone else has had. So he clearly loves boxing, and I respect that. If this is a fight in the middle of his fight with KSI, it means he's going to be a bit more sharp by the time he fights KSI than what he would have been if he'd had all of that time off. If KSI has no middle fight, that means JJ will have had a long time off.
Yeah.
What, like a year minimum?
Yeah, minimum, maybe 18 months. Right?
Yeah. Whereas Jake will have fought Gibbo, fought again, and then fought JJ. So what you see with like Conor McGregor, for example, is the sharper these guys are, the better they fight. The longer they take off, usually, the harder it is to stay sharp. So I credit him for actually being serious about boxing. What I'm more interested in is the Mike Tyson comeback. I've got to be honest. I mean, this is like Michael Jordan playing one last game in the NBA. Even though it's not Michael Jordan in his prime, you still want to turn up and go, wow, he's lacing the gloves up. We're witnessing one of the greatest ever. Whatever you can believe he's the greatest or not the greatest, whatever. Mike Tyson is an icon. Today's boxers, they grew up idolizing him. Making him like Tyson, Fury, all of them will be sitting down and watching this like little kids because he is their hero. And for Jake Paul to be able to say I was on a Mike Tyson card, that's pretty fucking cool. And I actually heard another boxer that we know might actually be on that card, but we'll see. So interestingly, Roy Jones Jr. is quite a lot smaller than Mike Tyson, and they're sort of coming out and saying, you know, it isn't going to be a nasty, vicious fight. It's like, well, it's an 8-round exhibition between two beasts. Once one of them hurts the other one a little bit, the other one's going to lash out, and it wouldn't surprise me if someone finishes the fight, even though they're saying they're not going for knockouts. Like, what's the point then? If you don't want to go for the knockout and you don't want to bring the dog back and you don't want to be that guy, don't be that guy. Don't get in the ring. The only reason people want to say Mike Tyson is they want the ferocious Mike Tyson, that like I want to fucking eat your heart kind of Mike Tyson. So if he's going to come back for this one time, go for it, you know, and give people a show. I'm excited for the fight, to be honest with you. I think we're going to do a knockout for that. You know, Mike Tyson's going to fight. I never thought I'd be able to say we're commentating on doing a live show for a Mike Tyson fight. Sick. This Sunday, I'm doing a live poker stream where I'm competing in a tournament for possibly like I don't know what.
Wait, you got to look up the numbers.
I'm on True News, and I was in the middle of telling the people how much is up for grabs in the tournament this Sunday. Do you know yet?
If you're telling me a guess, I'm going to say a guesstimate is going to be around 400k.
What? But you heard it here first, guys. It's going to be, what? Did he say shitloads?
No, he said probably 400 grand. Yeah. So I'm playing for 400 grand in a tournament on Sunday.
A share of? A share of 400.
No, the 400 is the winner.
No.
Yeah, the rest of it will be shared out.
What? What's my share of that?
So the top 159 on last Sunday's stream meant I got $2,800 playing poker against professionals.
Wow.
I'm playing against over 1,000 poker professionals. I'm learning on the fly. We got a poker expert with us, Charlie Carell, off the podcast, as some of you might remember. This weekend, we're going for the big one. We're going for the big money. Be there. TG2. Kanye's being Kanye. I mean, he's gone on a rant. He's basically alluding to the fact that Meek Mill might have fucked Kim Kardashian.
I don't think he alluded to the fact. I think he literally, in the tweets, goes, I've been trying to get a divorce from Kim since she met Meek Mill in the Waldorf, spelt wrong, to talk about prison reform. Maybe he's throwing shade.
That ass.
Wow. The problem with Kanye tweets is Kanye puts them up and then he takes them down, puts them up and then he takes them down, puts them up and then he takes them down. And then he'll tweet his new album title and track list.
I just don't know how much of this is real anymore. So here's the problem. Kanye seemingly was going through
an episode.
And as someone whose dad has bipolar disorder and he has bipolar, and I want to be empathetic towards the struggle that someone like that could go through, because I know how hard it can be on other family members when someone's going through that stuff. Kim Kardashian puts out a beautifully worded Instagram story where she's like, we just need a bit of empathy here, a bit of care and a bit of respect for what we're actually going through, instead of people pointing the finger and ha ha ha, Kanye is losing his mind again. I'm all about that. I completely agree with that.
Totally.
However, the problem is the timing. Why is it that Kanye's episodes coincide consistently over the last 5 years with his album drops?
As a Kanye West fan, I know for a fact that Kanye goes extremely private, extremely public, extremely private, extremely public. I don't think that these episodes are to do with just being in public. But I think Kanye is like this privately as well.
I take your point on that, that's just his style, but at the same time, he's exercising an awful lot of self-control over the last few years with that private public style, which always coincides with what is going to make him the most money. And then when it seems like he's losing his mind and he's going off the deep end and everyone's talking about it, it always benefits him to the absolute max. And given how clever the Kim Kardashian machine is, and how he's now probably learned a lot from those of how to exploit the press of no publicity as bad publicity, it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of this is contrived and he is just, I'll act a bit like this during the album release and it'll get everyone talking. It wouldn't surprise me because of the level of control he's exercised in the past.
It doesn't really change what the end product is either way though, does it? Because
the last album was shit.
Yeah, we get sort of not great music at the moment, and
I'm hoping
the album.
Is this the
Friday.
one with Dr. Dre involved in, or is that the next one?
I don't know whether Dr. Dre's been involved in Donda. I'd guess so. Yeah, I mean, it would make sense if they're in the studio.
The fact that he's naming the album after his mother is very sweet,
but also his organisation.
Yeah, and it's you want that to go well for him, but him running for president was clearly an absolute publicity stunt.
Absolutely.
And for me, when your mental health is also wrapped up in that, and it's the outbursts, and it's I feel like it's all coinciding together. It makes me think, is that also part publicity stunt? And to me, when mental health is supposed to be taken more seriously than ever, if it is proven to be that, I think people need to really come down hard on him and the machine that they've created.
I'd come down hard on the machine because I personally look at even other public figures who have run for president in the past, and you realise that those people are basically the front for a very smart machine behind that enable this sort of behaviour. And I think Kanye is surrounded by a lot of enablers as well.
Jeffree Star has come out and had his say after Tati threw him under the bus and said that him and Shane were the ones who put her up to making the Bye Sisters video.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Now, I've been silent for a very long time. I know that's very rare for me.
It's easy to be silent for a very long time when you're banged to rights. That's a phrase in the UK for Jeffree, if he's watching this. It doesn't mean
you've been banged by the right wing.
Now, in the past, I've been very guilty of speaking out of anger, out of frustration, out of my emotions.
All of these people start their video, but with this, they go, now, in the past videos, I've made mistakes. So this video is different.
What I'm trying to do is get you to forget all of the bitchy fuck-ups that I've made in the past, so that now you'll give me a chance.
I mean, people have the chance to evolve, but the problem is
you're trying to get someone to remove from their memory all the data that you've given them so that they don't take into account what a cunt you are.
I'm so quick to grab my phone and just say whatever is on my mind in that moment without ever really thinking the ramifications of my words.
This is a calculated attack is what you're saying. Brilliant.
But basically, he was banged to rights, so he couldn't just come out and say that didn't happen, because clearly it did happen. And you can tell by Shane's reaction that it's exactly what happened. The fact that Shane at no point was like, this is completely untrue. At no point did he say
Shane went,
oh my God.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And for the first time in a very long time, I'm really reflecting on my behavior and mine alone.
Imagine living your life in such a way where you go, first time in a long time, I'm reflecting on myself. Like a normal person does that at the very least weekly.
Yeah.
A normal person doesn't go, for the first time in a long time, I'm going to question, am I an arsehole? That usually means you're an arsehole.
Earlier we were saying how people copy things.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Are you you seeing that?
Trendsetter. Bazinga did it the same as well.
Yeah,
remember?
Bazinga did it the same as
There you
well,
go.
but I can't be
There
bothered
you
to put
go.
the words in.
Are we trendsetters? We inspire people to sit down on a very comfortable chair.
Yes.
And say what's on their mind. No one had did that before us, Lawrence.
I wouldn't be surprised if this video in the next second cuts to Shane Dawson crouching over a microphone going, were you sad when that happened?
And then they hug.
And then they hug. And then he buys him weirdly a PlayStation. Yeah, that's
He's
kind
like,
of
I've already got
strange.
this.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, but...
Yeah.
And I've come to a lot of realizations, and it's been really important to actually understand everything that I was a part of, that I did wrong, and really start a new chapter for myself.
You knew fine well what your actions were doing. You knew the whole time what you were doing. You're just not a great person, so you didn't care.
No,
and now you've got to kind of act like, I didn't realise, because that's your only hope out of this, so that your fans don't fully comprehend what a complete cunt you are. But unfortunately, there's people out there like myself who see right through this shit.
Just going to be absolutely clear here. Jeffrey Starr is 34. You look good for 34, Jeffrey. Although, you know.
When I filmed my video called Never Doing It Again, I meant every word in the video. Did I slip up? Am I human? Have I done some fucked up things? Of course I have.
Never doing that again.
Genuinely.
I've messed up, all right? I've messed up.
That is such a way of just letting yourself off with everything.
It's amazing. You literally, the
When
sentence...
I said I wouldn't do this, I meant it. Have I slipped up? Am I human? Yeah.
The sentence before, he goes, I will be making no excuses. The next sentence, he goes, I said I'd never do it again, but I'm human. And I'm like, that's an excuse! You're making them already! Within the next sentence!
That's unbelievable.
I thought you were self-reflective, Jeffrey. I believed you. You sucked me in!
For everyone saying Jeffrey's going to be coming with the receipts and we all need to get ready to forgive, that is the opposite of who I am. I know I'm dramatic, I'm crazy at times, I'm outspoken.
Because Tati said that these are all the things he holds over people in the community, she checkmated him. She blocked him in to a point where now he can't use all of those things because he will then just prove that she was right all along.
Yeah.
So she fucked him over so bad that the only way out for Jeffrey in the next video was to do this sort of shit.
I know this may sound shocking coming from my mouth, but when you accept that you are the problem, you can become the solution.
It didn't sound shocking at all. It's just that I don't believe you.
When you say it, when you accept that you are the problem, you can become the solution, that sounds very threatening.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm gonna solve you. I'm about to solve you, bitch. We're solving all your fucking problems.
I have moments where I get fired up. I don't think things through. I don't think about how my actions will affect others while I'm saying them.
She does, though, or he does, whatever. I'm not being nasty here. I just don't know what he identifies as. He does know his actions will have an impact. That's why he's doing them. He's pleading ignorance because he doesn't want everyone to be aware. You're just a bad person. Right in your core, where your black heart lives in your chest, you're a bad person.
The sentence before this, he literally said, I have impulse control. The sentence after, he says, sometimes I just say things I don't mean.
I didn't try to take anyone down. I'm not a villain in a movie. This isn't a Netflix series with a crazy storyline.
Believe me, I've watched a lot of Netflix. It's nowhere near that level. And not even on YouTube level. This is pretty bad.
This is actually boring.
Yeah.
But the best thing is, he goes, this isn't a Netflix series.
Damn right it isn't.
But then the next sentence...
And I know it sounds like it, and trust me, I'm sure I'd watch it as well.
He somehow managed to big himself up in that way. He goes,
He's like,
this is not dramatic or interesting at all, but believe me, I would watch that shit.
Believe me, like, you know, if it was, I'm pretty sure it could be.
It would be.
And I'd love
It would break records on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
We'd all be watching.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone.
Just to be clear, Netflix, people often get murdered, dumped in a sort of river somewhere. The body turns up 10 years later, and we've got to find out how that happened.
Yeah.
Retrace steps, evidence. It's very, very interesting. It's very dark. It's very worrying.
It's about human nature.
Yeah,
it's about the darkest thing that
and the
people have
impact it
done.
has on the families of the victims. This, on the other hand, I mean, Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson just got into Tatty's ear and said, yeah, can you torpedo that little bastard's makeup line, because he's really costing us some money here.
Yeah,
I mean, that is literally it.
Here's the thing though, Brian. If when you're wrong, you go, it's more complex than that. Everyone goes, it's more complex than that. There's more to it.
I get it.
Right. It's more
self-reflection.
it's more complex than that. Right.
We have to all take accountability for our own actions and no one else's. And that's what I will continue to do.
Continue. So at no point has he said, I was the one who got in Tatty's ear and said torpedo his James's fucking makeup.
I don't know.
At no point is he taking accountability.
Yeah, I know we're analysing this, we're pulling this apart. The eye test on this for me is that this is an angry, unself-reflective person.
Absolutely.
Who's actually making an angry, threatening video towards other people.
Who gets away with everything because they're surrounded by a bunch of like yes men bitches.
And they're and they're rich. They make a lot of money for people. That's the problem that Jeffrey is not actually pointing out here.
People are buying this guy's makeup and like as if he's a good person. Like, he's a bad person.
But let's be honest here, Brian.
He's a nasty piece of shit.
Exactly. You can be a nasty person and make good makeup. You can make bad makeup and be a good person. Making good makeup and making bad makeup does not make you a good or bad person.
But realistically, these YouTube lot, they're only buying the makeup because they like this guy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They're not making it.
What is he doing?
Yeah.
I mean, literally, are you brain dead?
Yeah, well, some people are buying our hoodies, so.
Did I get caught up in the hype? Did I do dumb shit? And did I not just simply call James Charles and ask questions myself? 100%.
You didn't do that because you wanted him to be taken down.
Right.
You purposefully did not ask because you were pushing the agenda to fuck this guy's career over. You didn't want to know the truth. You didn't care about the truth. You cared about getting what you wanted out that situation. It wasn't dumb. It wasn't ignorant. It was evil. You targeted him and you went after him. Now accept that, admit that, and say, I was a shit person for that.
You want the truth?
You can't handle the truth.
We delivered that, but it was one person in the movie that did it, but we did it better.
Split it.
Split it.
And I think that James and myself and anyone involved would agree with me that there are way bigger issues happening on this planet.
Another great thing is diversion tactics when you're wrong. And
We're
it's
halfway through the video and he's already going, Mike, done that now.
Yeah, it's
Is that it?
Here's diversion tactics. If you punch someone in the face and then they go, why'd you do that? And you go, climate change is a big issue, all right? We need to worry about climate. Bang! We need to worry about climate change. The person's still standing there with a bleeding nose, all right? And they're in that moment, they're going, I don't think climate change is my immediate worry. That's what he's doing. He's going, there's much bigger things.
You try to wreck someone's fucking life. Yes, there are other things going on in the world. You haven't addressed it. He hasn't accepted anything.
No.
And now he's just moving on.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to give you an expose of the beauty community. I'm not going to end anyone today. I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I've never committed a crime before, and I've never been to jail.
That Nazi stuff wasn't good, though.
That Nazi stuff wasn't great.
He did Nazi makeup,
and
just to be clear.
At the same time here, he talks about ending people. I still feel like he has that information. He's sort of sitting on it in a way.
Let's just be clear here. He tried to end James Charles and failed. Just because he didn't succeed doesn't mean he hasn't blackmailed or ended people. Like, he went to do that.
We can't say if he's blackmailed someone. Legally, we can't say if he's blackmailed
Fuck this cunt.
Right.
Just like last year, have fully removed myself. And did I get swept up into the bullshit again? Of course I did.
You started it.
I got swept up. Who did the sweeping? You did. So just to be clear, he's removed himself from this.
Absolutely.
He might have got swept up in it because himself swept himself into it.
Yeah.
But now he's removed himself.
Sorry.
So if everyone else could just deal with the shitstorm he's left behind because he's not involved.
I don't need this in my life.
I'm not involved.
I'm all about positivity now.
Yeah.
I'm living for the day, living for the moment, living for me.
2020 was really hard.
Yeah, it says on my wall over there, live, love, laugh. Yeah.
So my mansion.
Yeah. Yes.
Definitely. Sorry, I've got to take the dogs out for a walk, and by that I mean my dog walkers have to when I'm watching.
Right. That's actually really good. I'd do that from a balcony as well. You don't want to be around the normal people.
Did a little shit there.
Yeah. Poopy poops.
Breonna Taylor still has no justice. Black trans women are being murdered every day and the news is silent. Elijah McClain has no justice. And the countless other people who are murdered every single day while everyone just goes about their business like nothing's happening.
That was you when you were busy wrecking other people's lives.
What is next? You guys know. Jeffree Star Cosmetics will never be slowing down.
He actually managed to promo the cosmetics, yeah. Just to be absolutely clear, it doesn't matter what kind of fucked up shit I do, I still need to make as much money as humanly possible. So, we now do merch, right? Took us long enough, but we got there.
Tried.
Imagine we were doing an apology video, and halfway through the video, we quit the apology. The apology was terrible.
Apologied.
We then go on to fucking Black Lives Matter in a completely unrelated subject, as if to say, all right, well now this is more important. You're trying to take the moral high ground. It's clear as day what the fuck you're doing. And then at the end, if anyone was believing that you really care about Black Lives Matter, you then turn from that, which is an important subject, and go back to your fucking merch.
Your own merch.
If anyone is actually dumb enough to believe that this is sincere, wow.
But what's coming next is one of my most exciting projects ever, and I can't wait. August is going to be very exciting.
Yep. Absolutely. Guys, I just need you to know, I've been in my cave for a little while. I need to make some money now.
Do you know what it is, right? A few years ago, I feel like YouTube was full of people who were completely out of touch with reality. The influencers at the very, very top, you could see, were just so rich, and people weren't pulling them up, and they were living these bizarre lives and doing these bizarre things. And since then, so many of them have been forced to come down to planet Earth and have been absolutely blasted. And what amazes me is this guy's still out in the clouds. He has no concept of reality. Wow. He is not in the real world at all.
August, though, is going to be an amazing month. So
you look at James Charles. Yeah. James Charles is a bona fide star. Whatever reason, whatever you think about him, the guy is a star.
Maybe don't say boner.
With this guy being 20 years older than James Charles, you can imagine the feelings of jealousy he was having as this shooting star came out of nowhere and was clearly on the trajectory to overtake Jeffrey with no problem.
Better jawline, better hair.
I mean, just better everything.
Kim Kardashian.
You can imagine the feelings of how threatened he would have been by James Charles. So he went after him. And now, for him, he has to apologise to James publicly because he knows James has beaten him. Because the one with the audience, the one with the star quality, all of that, will come out on top in these situations. And generally, James is just a better human being.
This guy, Shere Khan.
He didn't expect Simba to have come back.
James Charles in this is Simba, though. Overall, I don't think James Charles is Simba. I think he's probably closer to Nala. Now, moving on. This is a couple of weeks old.
I just think,
You've got an opinion on it.
It's been a while. People have been asking us to comment on it. Will Smith, Jada Pinkett did you've all seen it, the chat. She basically admits she cheated on him.
Is it cheating, or was it like they were open and then...
They had a brief spell where they were like drifting apart and she got fucked by...
August.
I mean, it really feels like she fucked him, to be fair. I mean, they both fucked each other.
It's just like Jeffrey said. August is going to be great.
Apparently he was. That must be a tough month for them in the household. August 20...
Yeah, sorry, exactly.
Can we just call it...
Is it August 30th yet?
Something else?
Not yet.
You and I decided we were going to take our space, and what happened?
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes.
That's the word. That's the word that people are... Entanglement. Yeah. Apparently August is actually working on... He's a music guy. He's working on a song called Entanglement. Cash in on it. Fair play.
The August thing, I've got to admit...
He's really the booty call in this. It's like... it's weird seeing a man in this position.
It's also weird for me because if you get involved with a couple that you know are famous, in a relationship, and are extremely private, how's it your business to go on someone else's show and go, yeah, I was... kind of fucking her. I feel like he's the fucker in this. Like, he's the guy who's fucked them both up. No, maybe they fucked themselves because they had an open relationship.
They're a very strong couple, so maybe they're strong enough to overcome this. But the problem is, when you feel humiliated by the other person, it is very, very difficult to move forward. Will now, as a man, I think it's a bit harder even as a man because we've got egos, you know. We're, for the whole world to know another guy went in that shit.
Wow. I mean, you know, put it a bit more respectfully than
for him. Because he's just like, he's now got to try and hold his head high when everyone's talking about, yeah, but August hit that shit. You know what I mean? It's awkward. Especially when you're Will fucking Smith. Like, make no mistake about it. In my lifetime, there's not many actors, celebrities, sportsmen who have reached the level of, like, Will Smith. At a point in time, Will Smith was the biggest star on the planet. At one point in time. That's and not just for, like, a minute. We're talking about 20 years of dominance on screen. We're talking about Fresh Prince being the show that every single kid in the world watched. We're talking about Independence Day, Men in Black. We're talking about classics.
Will Smith had more than one summer, should we put it that way? There was Fresh Prince, into Independence Day, into other films, and then Men in Black. But what I mean is, it's summer. But it's summer after summer after summer. It lasted for such a long
20
time.
Years. I think 20 years of like being number one. You know what I mean? Like, not only is she having an impact on Will Smith with what she's saying that she did, but Will Smith is an icon, especially for the black community, and she is sort of cutting his balls off live on TV, and that is, it's not just going to impact Will Smith, it's impacting everyone who idolizes Will Smith. It's that Mufasa moment, isn't it? You're like, oh, he used to be the guy, and now he's the
same as everyone else. But is that not a good thing in some way?
It is, because it's unhealthy for us to think that bad shit doesn't happen to like big celebrities either. You don't want to watch the Fresh Prince have his woman fucked in front of him, you know.
The real question is, did we need to know this? And the answer, no.
Unless he's into that, of course, in which case, have at it, Hoss.
I was in a lot of pain, and I was very broken. Now, in the process...
Big lack of eye contact from Jada versus Will being very focused on her.
Right.
Yeah.
When Og first came around, he was really sick.
He was really, really sick, yeah.
And the outpouring for him from our family was initially about his health.
Will's not trying to do this, but he's really painting a picture now of we as a family welcomed this guy in.
Yeah.
Our children.
Yeah.
Me, the husband. And now this guy who's come in ends up fucking the mother.
Cuckoo in the nest.
Just imagine the pain that this must have caused that family. They're not acknowledging it. Will's giving her a free pass for whatever reason, but that is painful.
And I mean, we found all those different resources, you know, to help pull them through. And
God, you can almost feel the thoughts from Will in his head there.
Yeah, he's got a very expressive face.
The way he's looking at her, you can see he's thinking that he wants to shout. I feel like there's a not in an aggressive way, but in a pain. He's got this look on his face like, I'm in pain hearing this.
We decided that we were going to separate for a period of time, and you go figure out how to make yourself happy, and I'll figure out how to make myself happy.
well, at that particular point in time, it was indefinite.
Yeah, I really felt like we could be over. You know?
We were over.
There's a lot of miscommunication there where he's saying, I felt like we could be over, and she keeps going, yeah, but as far as I was concerned, we were done. And he's like, yeah, but not so much for me. I still was like, it feels like they were two different states of mind.
I kind of feel like they're both trying to control their side of the conversation. So he goes, I felt like we were over. And she's like, oh, we were over, yeah. So they both
She
set
doesn't
out
want to
this
be
position.
like painted as the cheater,
Exactly.
but she clearly was.
Yeah.
From this conversation, the fact that he was there when August came in and their family welcomed this guy in, clearly he should never have like if it was that much distance between it, and it was, you would never just fuck this guy having him in the house with your current husband. You can think what you want out there, but like, as far as I'm concerned, the fact that he was aware of this whole situation proves how close this was to an actual ongoing marriage.
You know, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement.
Really got to stop using that word because it's really not. I mean, it is a good word, but it's not a good word.
It's not, because she doesn't want to say the word affair because she doesn't want to feel like she is a cheater. Classic bullshit tactics from someone in a fucking relationship where they don't want to be the bad guy.
They can't accept
She
their-
doesn't
yeah.
want to be the bad guy here. Is there really a bad guy here? Like, oh, she fucked up. But it's the fear of that label that makes me really uncomfortable from this. Like, it makes me think you just don't want to own up to what you did.
Say
so
it.
you're calling it entanglement because
Right.
you just don't want to own up.
Right.
During that time, launched into an interaction with August. What do you feel like you were looking for?
That question is steeped in, what was I not giving you?
Oh, of course, yeah.
That's all he's asking.
Or what are we not getting from each
What
other?
were you
yeah.
not getting from me? And that from him is a personal thing of, why him over me? And that clearly he gave you something that I couldn't. That is the pain. And kind of credit to both of them for having the bottle to do this publicly, because it must be fucking hard. But what amazed me about it was, as two people in an over 20-year marriage, how poor they are at communicating with each other about their feelings is surprising. I'm surprised they've lasted as long as they've had,
Right.
because the way this conversation went, it's so dysfunctional, it's so difficult to listen to, because they're both dancing around truths. And if you can't be that honest with each other after this length of marriage, when you're publicly admitting that you fucked other people or whatever else has happened, you still have a lot of work to do.
Then is that the problem with being a power couple and not just a couple? The struggle is over the power, and I see a lot of that at this table.
Yeah,
both of them going.
They're trying
for,
to dictate the narrative.
Correct.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah,
but they're bad at getting their points across. Actually, I'm like, they're both smart people. Why is this such a challenge for you guys?
It feels quite passive aggressive to me. A lot of this conversation feels very sort of, what were you? They
I
should
feel
have
like
just laid it out.
The pressure that this is causing, neither of them just put their heart out there and just really went for it.
Mm-hmm.
They're both being very careful about what they admit. And it's like, well, if you were going to do this kind of chat publicly, then fucking do it. Don't half do it, do it.
Right.
And this to me is a lot of them holding back a little bit because they don't want to come across as that person that, you know, entanglement. All right, we know what that really means. Or him going, what did August get from, but what did August give you that you were looking for? Realistically, he's just going, what did I not give you? I'm hurting. This is hard.
I just wanted to feel good. It had been so long since I felt good.
New dick will do that for you.
Well, yeah, although, I get the other side of it.
20 years younger than Will, probably. Is he like 15 years younger?
Sure.
He'd be hitting that, pounding that shit.
And it was really a joy to just help heal somebody.
Was that what she was saying as she was making his dick really hard?
Yeah.
While she
I'm healing you. I am healing you.
This penis. Heal!
There's something about that childhood trauma that feels as though it can be fixed through fixing people.
She's coming out of things that I feel like new discoveries about herself, and realistically, this is why you need a soul search. This is why you need self-reflection. And I feel like people who are rich, in power, who are told that everything they do is great, don't do enough of that because they're just coasting. When you see her having this sort of wow moment at 48 years old, it's like, yeah, you should have known that about yourself when you were 30, realistically. Like, I mean, if you know.
And then, husband, now I got to be with you at the press conference while you like tell the world about your transgressions.
Well,
The laughing is so awkward. Like, but this is the thing. These people have been married for over 20 years, and yet they are still so awkward around each other, and the communication is so difficult for them. It's like, why? You should have no secrets at all. You should know each other inside out. Like, there should be no tension like that at this point.
I'm gonna get you back first, and then
you gonna get me back. I think you got me back. I think you...
Just gonna bring up there we go. What was that?
So a lot of people think he shagged Margot Robbie.
No way.
Did he though? Like, but there's no proof of that. You know what I mean? What makes people say that? I don't know.
Rumors.
Okay.
I think we're good on that, okay?
You don't need to Margot there anymore, okay? Yeah, let's just say there's not going to be another Suicide Squad, if you know what I'm saying. Speaking of Suicide Squad, should we check up on Ghislaine Maxwell?
So she, the weird thing is, she is not an ugly woman, particularly.
No.
You know what I mean?
Just going to zoom in again. It's
Prince Andrew.
one of the royal family with a young woman, and who's that in the background?
Ghislaine, yeah.
Is that Ghislaine Maxwell?
Yeah, she's with a lot of these
What,
guys.
Ghislaine Maxwell, who they recently arrested because they thought she was entangled with this man over here,
So
Jeffrey Epstein,
so she's-
the man who killed himself.
Yeah, she's Jeffrey Epstein's pimptress, you know what I mean? She's the one who got the young women to him and basically convinced them to do whatever she told them to.
Is that Donald Trump?
It is Donald Trump.
Ooh.
Did you say that the Fox News cut that out of the post?
This exact picture here, where they cropped Donald Trump out,
Yeah,
but weirdly left
yeah,
in
I've seen
Ivanka.
that.
It's going to fuck you over, that, isn't it?
Well, it is, because Donald Trump, in his last interview, has just admitted he actually knows her very well.
I don't know. I haven't really been following it too much. I just wish her well, frankly.
I haven't been following it too much. You've not been following an international story
Of which someone you are very good friends with, or
Yeah.
know very well, is implicated in child sex trafficking.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't pay attention to it either.
I wouldn't pay attention.
Do you imagine you knew someone who was going through that? You'd be like, following it every fucking day, mate.
To be fair, he's been very busy coming up with a mask that can cover his face because no one else before had thought of a mask.
Yeah.
I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well, whatever it is. I don't know the situation with Prince Andrew. Just don't know. Not aware of it.
Just to be
No
clear.
one mentioned it. No one mentioned it.
But he hasn't been following it.
Do you know, are you thinking of Ghislaine Maxwell now? Haven't really been following it, I must say. It is tricky, though, because the whole Andrew... Did you mention Andrew? Well, I didn't mention Andrew. Right, well, I mean, I'd assume he might be involved.
I've not been following it.
I've not been
probably,
following it.
But I assume...
Yeah.
Why do you assume that, Donald?
What? Have you ever been to Pizza Express?
Just to be clear, this is my main problem with this whole situation, aside from the fact that this is the president of the United States.
Yeah, a man who sweats.
Imagine someone you were friendly with and had met numerous times,
Yeah.
photographed with you, is then going on trial for being involved in crimes against children.
Sex trafficking.
Right? Would you be saying to people that you knew when they asked you about said trial, I wish her well, especially if you claim you haven't been following it, don't know all the details,
Don't really know them.
would you not keep that to yourself and go, I don't want to comment on it at this time, at least because you don't want to either say the wrong thing, potentially say something positive towards her, and find out that she's a terrible person?
A paedophile.
Why would you send positive words to someone who may be guilty of that, potentially? Why would you do that?
Yeah, you go, it's an ongoing case. I don't really think I should be commenting on that right now.
But here's the thing. Why would you do that, though? And this is an honest, genuine question.
Right.
Why is he saying, I wish her well, to the notorious Ghislaine Maxwell?
Yeah, I hope the death is painless. I've said too much.
I was on the fence, but I was like, okay, clearly Jeffrey Epstein was dealing with a lot of big, powerful people, some evil, sick and twisted dudes. But the likelihood is Donald Trump just someone he used to have a few drinks with because they were mixing in the same crowd? Is it likely that Donald Trump will get mixed up in this? Probably not. He's president. You know, he's probably not that deeply involved in it.
He's a respectable figure.
No, because he's gone, I wish her well. I'm like, oh, you're sending her positivity. You're shitting yourself that she's going to implicate you.
You're covering her in prayer.
You're covering her ass completely. You're panicking here. The panic stations are on.
Something we should add here while we are joking about a situation which is horrible. Someone's son has also died over this. And it's the son of the new judge who's dealing with the Jeffrey Epstein case. There is no way that this isn't related.
A gunman who shot and killed 20-year-old son of a US federal judge and wounded the judge's husband in an attack at their home. The shootings occurred in a New Jersey home. Her only child as well.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, that is awful. That.
It's a very sad situation when obviously you see someone's son being killed, and it's even more sinister when you see the cases these people are dealing with.
So this is just further evidence of the fact that this is one of the most corrupt cases we will ever see in our lifetime. There are so many big, powerful people implicated. You know, the suicide of Jeffrey Epstein, which obviously stinks, and then the fact that the judge who's residing over the case is then having her son shot at her home. Like, I mean, this is corruption of the highest level. The fact that the justice system in America is there to bring people like this to justice, and you've got them, the people involved in the system, getting their kids shot and killed over it. Like, how can you believe in that system?
Yeah.
It's fucked.
Whilst we're here, let's just very quickly cover Donald Trump's expert handling of wearing a mask.
It will probably, unfortunately, get worse before it gets better. Something I don't like saying about things, but that's the way it is. It's what we have. You look over the world, it's all over the world.
Yeah, it's been getting better over here, though.
Walking all over the world.
That's coronavirus right now, guys.
It's corona,
and I like it, I like it, I like it.
If you can, use the mask. When you can, use the mask. If you're close to each other, if you're in a group, I would put it on when I'm in a group.
Again, he's sort of wishy-washy. It's like, just wear the fucking mask. Don't say sometimes, maybe when you can, just wear it.
My frustration with the mask thing comes out of the fact that it's now become like law to have to wear it on buses, in trains, whatever. I've got people coming up to me going like, you gotta put the mask on and stuff like that. I had an awkward moment the other day where I realised my mask had broke. I was like,
shit, now what?
Yeah. I've got a big face. And then they were like, realistically we're supposed to actually like throw you off the train now, and I'm like, well, if you want to try, I did think if you want to try and do that, make my fucking day. But my main thing with this mask thing, England, I think we've got about 40,000 people dead now,
45,
and we've chosen now that the deaths are at an all-time low. The daily deaths are in an all-time low since Corona started. We now have implemented mask wearing as law. They're saying this is the best thing for it, and I'm not disputing that. Maybe,
it is.
Honestly, maybe it is, right? I'm not a scientist, and I take on board what they're saying. But it's like, why are we making it law now?
It's late for that, really, isn't
it? It feels like Boris has turned up with a fire extinguisher and went, ready, the house is burned down, Boris.
Yeah.
You've made it law now. The vast majority of people who will die from COVID have already died. That is a fact.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's what I love about it.
And now he's like, the masks will rescue. Fuck me, mate. How long has it taken us to fucking work this out? And now he's made it law. This is pointless at this stage. I mean, yes, we'll still save some people, but by comparison to what it could have done if you just done this 4 fucking months ago, mate.
Less people are dying from it now, though. Yes, that's because most of the people who are going to die from it have already died.
A lot of Americans, though, may be surprised at your change of tone. Some more, perhaps, realistic tone. Some would look at it that way. The sudden embrace of masks.
The same thing is happening in America as happening in the UK, and that is politicians are being forced to completely 180 and flip-flop on their previous statements, because as we've all now been shown to be absolutely true, they didn't have a fucking clue what they were doing. Not a clue. So if any of you are thinking that these are the people to trust right now, you need to rethink it, like.
Yeah.
Because thousands of people die because of the negligence of these politicians, like.
Yeah.
As one family, we mourn every precious life that's been lost. I pledge in their honor that we will develop a vaccine.
Donald Trump is now using dead people's lives to try to rally people behind a cause. All of these people have died. We're going to do it in their name. We wouldn't need to do it in their name. We wouldn't need to do it in anyone's name or a very few people's name if you'd have treated it this seriously in the first place. But sadly, you're all about image and not about substance. Moving on from that to another very sad story. The Glee actress Naya Rivera was also found dead.
This really got me a bit. So they had a boat and they were in, I think, a river of some sort. What it sounds like is she got caught up in difficult waters to swim in. She managed to swim hard as hell, save her son's life. She pushes him back onto the boat. By that point, she couldn't swim anymore and she's gone under. Now, that tells you, as someone who swam in difficult waters many, many, many times, the level of exhaustion she would have been at to not be able to save herself, to use every last bit of energy that she had to push her child to safety and save his life, and then be so exhausted she's gone under after that. I've talked about diving before, but I'll get fucking serious now. I actually understand how hard that would have been. I was actually reading the story and I was going through it in my head, like almost crying, like, because the level of love that she has had to use to power herself to save her kid's life to a point of exhaustion and then go under herself almost immediately after her kid said he's seen her go. Fuck me, water can be so dangerous, and people need to fully understand like how bad it can be and how dangerous it is. Secondly, a mother's love is the most powerful thing in the world, and her final act was to give her own life to save her kid's life. So what a woman. It's just one of the saddest stories you'll fucking hear. And the Glee curse, as you know, that's the whole thing now. People talk about these 3 actors who've now died in one of the biggest shows in TV at the time. It was the biggest kid show on television, wasn't it? And you had,
I think it got such a wide audience. Yeah, it was older people, younger people. Yeah. It was quite it felt family friendly.
Yeah, very family friendly. Which and some of the darkness of the deaths. I mean, this one, as sad as it is very. It was wholesome. You know, she gave her life for a child, whereas the other 2 guys, one was a heroin overdose, and he was like the heartthrob of the show, and then the other one was real fucking dark because he was a pedo locked in prison who then killed himself. They found fucking all sorts on his computer, and his girlfriend grassed him up, basically saying, "I'm telling you, he's a fucking pedo," and it all came out, and he killed himself in prison. Like, when you think of how wholesome Glee was as a show, fuck. You know, R.I.P. Nia Rivera. I did watch a couple of episodes with her in. She was like, you know, movie star, just written all over her. And,
she got that kind of face and demeanour.
Yeah, it's just super sad, man.
Now, we don't really need to tell you much else than this exact picture. This boy had over 90 stitches in his face after he got between a dog which was attacking his sister, and he got her to safety. And you can see there, the damage done is pretty
brutal.
Yeah, and you've got to commend such a young boy for his bravery.
Oh man, this guy deserves a medal. Like, genuinely, what a little legend.
He's getting a Captain America shield, I'm told.
I don't know who the fuck owned the dog, but you need a fucking punch. Clearly, the dog wasn't, you know, brought up properly or being restrained properly at the time. But credit to him, he's a little hero. I mean, that is the definition of a hero. Because, you know, when dogs go like that, and clearly his little sister would have lost her life, he risked his. So what a little star.
He's getting all the messages from all the big social media stars. Do you want to?
Hey kid, proud of you. Genuinely,
that's great.
It's a beautiful story, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like, he will have that scar probably for the rest of his life, and everyone will know him as the kid. Just to be clear, how old is he?
6.
In about 12 years or so, son, this scar is going to help you so much.
Right.
All right.
Sure.
You are the man.
Unless you're asexual, you know. I mean, even then, it's probably going to identify however you want.
Whatever.
Cam Kirkham porn video.
Yeah, I just thought this was quite a funny video of Cam's. Show him a bit of love.
What? Cam Kirkham made a funny video?
It does happen every now and then.
This doesn't sound right.
In this video, me and my girlfriend are going to buy 4 YouTubers OnlyFans and rate them, starting with the least explicit and ending the video with the most explicit. How does that fit?
What do you think of Chloe?
She's lovely.
Yeah.
They're perfect for each other. The fact that she can tolerate him, I find her... She deserves a medal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mother Teresa.
Yeah.
We have the Queen, Trisha Paytas. People keep telling me to eat my vegetables. Vid of me with Mother Nature filling all my holes in your inbox.
I really want to... I'm kind of curious here. OnlyFans Trisha Paytas.
A few moments later.
Oh my god.
Oh, there's Adam 22, huh?
Is that Adam 22?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not attracted to this.
Can we look? Well, yeah, but I hope they check Trisha over before this. She does proper porn.
What? Speak up, bitch. I'm paying money. Someone's knocking at the door, Trisha. Let's go.
Genuinely.
It might be a package. Don't fucking touch this. You make me feel dirty.
Her tits look really different than normal boobs.
Is it the fact that the nipples look like they've been painted on? What is she doing? Why is it doing that? What am I doing in there with that?
I can't believe she's an actual YouTube influencer and this is what she makes. She's a squirter. Okay, that's very intelligent the way she's done that. Yeah. So she's put a glass box in front of over the camera and then squirts on the glass box so you can see all the squirt happening. To be fair to Trisha, what I will say is apparently a lot of people who sell stuff on OnlyFans, they do like, you know, a few pictures or whatever.
Right.
She goes hardcore.
Trisha's fully committed.
Yeah, so if you're wanting to see like the full thing, she'll show you everything. You know what I mean? internal. So this weekend, Leicester are playing Manchester United, and potentially the winner will likely get Champions League football.
They will.
So we've gone and got the biggest, baddest Leicester fan on the planet to guest star on the kickoff live on Sunday. Blue Van Man in this very studio.
There.
Watch it with
Right
us.
there.
The kickoff Sunday. But for now, let's see what he's been up to.
Yeah.
Right, folks, we are back with another beer garden.
The beer garden.
Sorry, he's branded it.
Yeah, the beer garden.
I just know that this has got Elliot written all over it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, call it the beer garden.
Elliot's gone, you call it the beer garden, you're going to get brands to send you free beer. He's gone, free beer? He's gone, absolutely. He's gone, I'll call it the beer garden. Yeah.
This is it. Well, you can bet your life now it won't rain.
No, it's not meant to be raining anyway.
It ain't meant to be raining.
I wonder if this guy's being roped into it, because, like, you know, when Dave says normally fancy coming out and having a bit of a natter in front of the camera, he's like, yeah, but now it's the beer garden, it's tarpaulin, it's serious.
This guy's negotiated himself 20% of the brand.
I do feel like he's behind the scenes going, you know, we'll work this out.
Yeah,
We'll build a brand together.
He probably, the thing is, the sad thing for this guy is his living room faces Dave's conservatory, and there's times where he's just trying to watch TV, windows open, and he just sees Dave at the, yeah, right, yeah, and he's gone,
you're coming out.
You're coming out. Watching Cash in the attic, but yeah, all right. Yeah, we'll do an episode of the beer garden. Oh,
fucking beer garden.
Yeah, all right, Dave.
Okay, then.
Let's move. That's not supposed to be. I fucking hate things like this. Now then, hold on. Right, go that way. Here we go.
Oh, put masks on.
Yeah.
Oh, is that how they solved the problem?
Look at that. Can you see that, folks?
Dave's basically insinuating that these are sex dolls that were at the football. Dave's mind, watch what Dave's mind does here. Thumbs up or wanky hand.
Yeah, look, that one's standing, the one's like that. Now, is she doing that or is she doing that? Look, unbelievable. They've dressed them up and erect nipples and everything.
Again, Dave's doing middle-aged man outrage so he can get a nice long look at the sex dolls. He's going, oh no.
Those erect nipples.
Oh, disgusting. Erect nipples and everything.
Do you know what? The thing is, I can actually believe that FC Seoul have fucked up. They've not done it on purpose.
No.
They've tried, because when all's said and done, these kind of the Korean people and that, Seoul is in Korea, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah. Fucking hard to think sometimes. You know, they are not the kind of people who would do that.
What we've learned today.
If there's one thing that Dave knows, is the kind of people that the
Koreans are. Yeah.
Because he's like, it is in Korea, isn't it? They are not the kind of people.
Yeah.
If I know them,
if I know Seoul,
bloody hell do I do.
Yeah, and bloody hell, if I studied Korea as one thing, Seoul is in Korea, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to think sometimes.
Yeah, well, because I mean, even their porn is all blurred out, isn't it, on the important bits? How can you do anything to that when they've got it all pixelated out?
Porn is all blurred out.
He would know.
He would know.
He lived there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he is a master of this.
FC Seoul would have said, oh, right, let's try and get this problem. Let's try and get an atmosphere. I know, we'll get a load of moaning sex dolls. We're attacking.
I love when Dave gets on a little bit and his mate doesn't even look at him. Dave's just entertaining himself at this point.
Can I just say, though, I really would appreciate if this Sunday, when Leicester are attacking,
Dave goes, they're attacking.
And I went into my granddad's house and I went, we were talking about work, he said, and I says, oh, I'm supporting Scotland. And he went absolutely fucking apeshit at me. And I'm going, well, why? What's wrong with that? And he says, because you're not Scottish, you're English. Yeah, but England are... Hey up, we've gone. He says...
Yeah, I love it. This doesn't even put him off to one side. He doesn't go, I'll stop the story for a second. He goes, and he says, he's trying to just tell the story.
I love the fact that June's had to run in as the backup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's trying to hold it down.
So anyway, that's better. Back in the beer garden.
God, I love it.
Just to be clear,
just a fucking garden.
Just stood in the exact same place he was by the fence.
But I would also say, right?
The Americans are like that, though, aren't they? You like the patriotism of the Americans.
Sorry, who's that? I don't remember the women being involved in the beer garden.
That's a very good point.
It's a bit of a new addition. I'm not sure I'm all right with this.
Well, June chimes in.
I wanted her to be seen, not heard.
Right, okay, just like Dave's granddad.
I want June in a bikini as the ring card girl every 10 minutes.
What are you doing?
Coming round
Why?
And explaining 10 minutes,
right.
20 minutes. I don't want her to talk during. This is mental.
Right. Why do we reduce June down to a sexual object? She's much more than that. She's
disgraceful.
Been behind every strong man, behind every blue van man, there is a blue van woman. All right.
You've made a good point. I take back what I've said.
Yeah.
I want her as the other guest because
Right.
this Kiwi is offering nothing.
Yeah, we've heard enough of Dave there. I love Dave. and I love hearing all his views.
For more, it's Blue Van Man's YouTube channel. You can check that out.
Yeah, it's very good. See you Sunday for that as well.
Yeah, so we got Dave down on Sunday, as we said, on the kickoff. It's Leicester, Manchester United, Chelsea, all trying to get Champions League football. We got Rory, we got KG, and we got Blue Van Man. They're all sweating.
Yeah.
Under that.
Unlike Prince Andrew.
And then following that, it's me on a poker live stream trying to win hundreds of thousands of dollars. It might happen. I got close last time. I got down to the last 159. Maybe this time I'll get down to the last one. So
good luck. Good luck to you.
Gonna need it.
Charlie Carell will be there as well.
Yeah, we got Charlie, Big Charlie in the building. Get your marvelouses out in the TG2 chat when we see him. So we're basically live streaming all of Sunday afternoon. See you there. It's been a good one, lads.
It has, yeah. Thank you very much for having me.
Don't forget to hit the like button, stay subscribed to the True Geordie YouTube channel, and we'll see you later.